The next installment in the Halo franchise is finally here. Master Chief and Cortana finally return in 343 Industries' Halo 4. Will this first release in the Reclaimer Trilogy take the beloved series to new heights, or did Bungie leave their universe in the wrong hands? Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome to the GamerNerdz. I'm Voyce.
And I'm Tess.
So we're gonna get into the review of Halo 4. We'll start off with the story now. The events of Halo 4 start off 4 years after the events of Halo 3. Master Chief and Cortana, they're in the frigate Forward Unto Dawn. They're lost in space. They find themselves under attack by a Splinter Covenant group. Eventually they crash land into a Forerunner planet. No, I'm not spoiling anything. They'll say this right off the bat. It's called Requiem. And that's pretty much where the game takes place for the most part.
I was really excited about this. I've been waiting forever since it was announced at E3. I've loved the franchise since the beginning.
When I first heard 343 was taking on, I was kind of scared.
Yeah, I was a little worried how they were going to do it, if they were going to really change it, because if you change too much, you lose the fan base, but if you change too little, we're bored.
This is by far, I'm going to spoil the rest of the review, the best Halo game ever created, my opinion.
Yeah.
The story is a lot more grown up. Everything that Bungie had created in their universe, Forerunners, mankind and their origins, are really explored in Halo 4. Granted, 343 were not really tied to the Covenant War anymore because it was kind of put to an end at the end of Halo 3. They had the leg room to create new enemies. This is Halo, but
it's grown up Halo.
It's grown up. The first thing you'll notice that really stands out is the relationship between Cortana and the Chief. Bungie explored it in the past, but 343 really kind of hammered it home. Master Chief, he's this iconic soldier, but at the end of the day, at his core, he's kind of a broken person. The only thing that keeps him human, which is really ironic, is Cortana,
who's an AI. To me, it was the highlight of the campaign part of the game. You really saw for the first time emotion in Master Chief.
Exactly.
Because he is this Spartan soldier. You never saw really any emotion. He was just so straightforward, kicking ass and taking names. And this is the only time where you actually saw that emotion between the two of them. You can see he was really attached to Cortana.
That relationship that really, for me, drove the story. There is a new enemy introduced. They're called Protheans. It goes into just really cool directions, new places. And one thing I really did like is the fact that in Halo 4, it's been 4 years after the events of the end of Halo 3, Earth has moved on. There are new Spartans. They're called Spartan 4s. So in a sense, Master Chief is an old model.
Yeah.
And you really feel that with the way people interact with the Chief. He doesn't look like he fits in. Suddenly he's flawed, and I really like that 343 took the time to explore that.
Underneath all that armor, there was actually a real person. The story felt a little convoluted at times, was thrown at you at such a fast pace. It was a little muddled.
I have to disagree. I think every aspect of the story just had me engaged to it. Everything that was said, I was kind of like, huh? What is being said? This is amazing. I didn't really feel it was muddled. If you're not really a Halo fan, I know you are, but if you're not really a Halo fan and you're kind of just starting off, it might feel like, holy crap, there's a lot going on.
Some of it just went over my head and I just kept with the story and I just kept playing.
The thing about the past Halo games, although I really love them, the stories, although they took you to really cool places, didn't really dive deep into their own lore. In order for you to really get the full out of the Halo franchise in the past, you had to go beyond the game. But one thing that 343 Studios really did well was incorporate the story beyond just the campaign.
All tied together. Anything that you played was all connected in some way.
Extends into the Spartan Ops, these episodic events that you play that take place after the storyline in Halo 4. So if you haven't beat Halo 4, do not do Spartan Ops. It might spoil some things. 343 released 1 episode per week after the launch of the game. The story just keeps giving and giving, and there's always just more and more to do and more to learn about Halo in Halo 4. With that being said, let's move into the gameplay. Halo 4 has a lot of content to give you. There's the main campaign, there's the Infinity mode, which is split into war games, which is the multiplayer stuff, and then there's Spartan Ops. Also, the map editor Forge mode returns. I'm gonna start with the gameplay in the main campaign. Any die-hard Halo fan will obviously feel that this is still Halo at its core.
Yeah.
It still plays like Halo. There are a few tweaks, but those tweaks make for an even better experience. One of the things that kind of threw me off at the beginning was the fact that in order to crouch now, you press the B button. They kind of took that from games like Black Ops. Once you start playing, it just feels like you're right back at home, and everything about Halo that you love just comes flooding back at you. Granted, I played the campaign on Legendary solo, which makes me the king because I beat it all by myself. So I didn't play it on normal or heroic. I would never play it on easy. And if you're playing Halo on easy, really? Okay, so I don't think there's an achievement for that. Is there?
No, I don't think so.
There's no achievement.
You get no achievement for easy.
Fail. Okay.
You fail at life, basically.
Fail.
What's the point?
Seriously. On Legendary, the enemies are just, they're not cool. They will swarm at you, they will flank you, and I don't know how it plays in normal difficulty settings, but I do like the fact that the AI, it just seemed a lot smarter. Halo Reach, the elites, whenever you shot them and they lost their shielding, they'll go hide and come out when it's regenerated. In Halo 4, they're even smarter, so they will piss you off. Even the grunts were difficult to take down.
Yeah, I felt that. I was like, they're still the little ones that you just kick around. Why is it so hard to take them down sometimes? The hide and seek kind of aspect of them just jumping around, it gets a little annoying at times and frustrating, but that's Halo. It brings out the best and the worst in us.
I loved every single step of the game. 343 introduced some new things. They expanded on the items that Bungie introduced first in Halo 3, and then in Halo Reach they took it to a whole new level. New armor abilities like a thruster pack that lets you evade, Prothean vision that lets you see enemies through walls, a sentry bot, a shield you can carry around. I mean, there's just so much more given to you, and you may feel at the beginning, well, this is a little too much, but when you start playing it, it makes perfect sense.
So there's a couple of new enemies that we have from the Promethean Knights. Just keep taking bullets, an unnecessary amount of bullets. Crawlers, which are these robotic dogs that come at you in swarms from all angles. The Watchers, who are my most hated villain alien of all time.
I think I actually hate the Watchers more than I hate the Flood. I really hated the Flood in Halo previous. First of all, this is your strategy in any fight where there's a Watcher. Take them down first. If you play Borderlands 2, they're kind of like those robots that reanimate enemies you've taken down already.
You regenerate the enemies and they shield their allies. And most of the time you're already aiming because you're swarmed out by the crawlers. You don't even realize that there's things above you hitting you. So it's just coming at you from all angles.
That's what she said. Getting back to the Prothean Knights, again, I played this game on Legendary, so they were complete a-holes. They play like the Elite in the sense that they have shielding, when you take it down, they go hide until it comes back. You're being surrounded by crawlers, so there's a chance that you're not even gonna be able to even go after them. So they will regenerate their life and come back and just seriously piss you off. And they can freaking teleport right in front of you, and one bash, you're dead. If you're gonna play this game on Legendary, make sure you understand the different enemy types in the game. Make sure you understand the different weapons in the game.
Use the correct weapons.
Use the right
when you're
ones.
in Legendary and Heroic, and don't always be so brave. When I get so pissed off, I just charge across the field just to hit them over the head. Don't do that.
You know, every once in a while though, ironically,
I feel so satisfying.
I get so mad because I'd get killed by the stupid Prothean Knights, and I charge at them and just bash them, and for some reason I survive, and I'd be like, wait a second, I survived this?
Maybe I can do this all the time.
Maybe I can do this. There are new weapons, obviously. The Protheans do come with their own set of weapons. They vary in terms of how much damage they do and how they reload and whatnot. One cool thing about the Prothean weapons is when you pick them up, they kind of transform in your hand. Kind of cool. But
I like the way that they reload and everything. The alien weapons were fantastically well done.
Oh, they're like super advanced technology. The way you take down the final boss,
a little too easy.
It was beyond easy.
Even on Heroic and Legendary.
You go through this entire game and they're really just building up this ending. Hordes and hordes of enemies. You finally get to the final person and all you do is press 2 buttons and done.
And they kind of tell you what buttons to press.
Yeah, exactly.
So they just gave it to you. You think the boss would be a little bit more. It goes into the whole animations afterwards. I'm like, that's it? I'm done?
So that's the only downfall. The last section, there is a very Star Wars-esque part. You didn't like it that much.
I didn't like it whatsoever.
I understand why you didn't like it. I liked it.
It just became repetitive. If you actually die, they respawn you right in front of a wall, so you die again. And I just had a problem with it. I just thought it was so bland and boring, and it didn't feel like Halo whatsoever to me. It felt very Star Wars-ish.
Yeah, it was Star Wars-ish, but I don't know how you even died at that part.
There was some... Whatever.
Number 2.
So in multiplayer, we have a couple new key changes, noticeably taken from Call of Duty's template. You actually can customize your loadouts now. In
Halo Reach, they kind of introduced this whole loadout system, but you didn't really have much control over it. In Halo 4, as you keep playing, you unlock new weapons. I kind of like that in a sense, but at the same time, the second you got into the higher levels, it kind of put you at an unfair advantage.
I felt the same way.
So beyond just loading out with new weapons or grenades, you can choose from tactical packages and support upgrades, reload faster,
recharge your shield faster,
increase grenade capacity, carry 2 primary weapons as my loadouts. During a match, you can call ordnance drops that drop items or weapons, customize the look of your character's armor. Core gameplay still feels the same, which is not a bad thing. The Spartan 4s run a lot faster. That does change up the gameplay. So trying to snipe someone is a lot harder in Halo 4.
It's a little bit harder, unless you got a good little spot.
I will say this about the maps though, I love the maps, but they're not as memorable in my opinion as previous maps.
Really?
Apart from the maps that are taken right out of old Halo games.
So Spartan Ops starts off with a CG animated short, and then it goes into about 15 to 20 minutes of gameplay per chapter. The same thing over and over again. I felt a little bit that you go in, kill the bad guys, clear out the area, blow up some and dust yourself off for the next chapter. And it got a little repetitive a little bit because the swarms just keep coming at you. It's a little bit better on co-op, I found, to do Spartan Ops.
I personally really like the Spartan Ops, mostly because of the story aspect. In Spartan Ops, you're not playing as the Chief, you're playing actually as the new Spartans, the Spartan 4s. One thing you do learn about them is they're kind of cocky.
The online multiplayer brings out the worst in us, especially for Halo. It's why we always go back to it. I learned a bunch of new swear words. Some of the ones that I learned this week: suck my.
Let's jump directly into the way the game looks and sounds. Now, Halo 4 is freaking beautiful.
It's fantastic.
The opening sequence that starts you off, I actually thought it was a movie at first.
The exact same thing. Is this a real movie?
Yeah.
Did they actually film Halo? And then you realize that it's all CG. Even the cutscenes are fantastically well done.
The lighting effects, they're not on par with Battlefield 3, but the lighting effects are pretty damn good.
Yeah. I think the whole game just pops with details.
One of the main issues I've always had with Halo games, less so on Halo Reach because they put more work into it, was the facial animations and just the faces in general. Past games were kind of blocky. Bungie wasn't really great at creating faces. 343 though, holy crap.
They took it to a whole new level on this one.
Cortana? Doesn't she look like Jessica Chobot? It's just me. I've always thought Cortana was hot, but when she first appears, when she first appeared on screen, I couldn't get up for a little bit. I'll lie to you. It was she's kind of hot. The facial animations, Cortana now, she's going through rampancy.
You're intrigued, you want to watch, you kind of want to see how she progressed. It's so well written and so well animated.
And the expressions on their faces, you can tell how they're feeling before they actually even say anything. There's one thing that 343 really brought to our attention in Halo 4, and that's the attention to scale. The elites tower over the Chief, the Prothean Knights tower over the elite. The grunts are actually pretty damn tall, which is kind of scary, because in old Halo games, I was like, grunts.
Yeah, they were so small, yeah.
Kick them, they're nothing.
The mech, how you can just crush things now, I loved it.
The mech is amazing. We need to talk about the mech.
No, how are we not talking about the mech?
Okay, the Mantis. Amazing. Love it. Done. The voice work, more emotional. There's so much more expression in the voice. Cortana by far stole the show. Everything about the way she delivered her scenes were just fantastic.
Everything matched up so well. The music was fantastic, but I missed the original Halo theme.
Really, the new sound does fit with the more adult Halo. You obviously will miss the old stuff, but if they had put it into this game, I don't think it would have worked.
No?
I just don't think the look and feel of this Halo would match with the old sound.
Well, I'm happy with what they produced.
The weapons in Halo 4 just sound more visceral and just more in your face. Even the alien weapons, the Covenant weapons especially actually, have this very alien threatening sound. Some of the weapons that I was never really catered to in the past, now when I walk past them, I'm like, holy shit, I'm about to get gunned down by this weapon.
One of the cons to the game is that Halo comes with a second CD, which you use to download for Spartan Ops and a couple of the war games, but you need a couple gigs of space. So if you don't have any much space, you need to delete a bunch of other stuff. That's a little bit of a problem.
Well, if you have a very old hard drive with like, what, 2 gigabytes worth of space, then maybe you should get a new one.
I didn't have a problem with it, but some people did.
With all this being said, the story is fantastic. It's more character driven, it's more emotional, it's a more adult Halo game. The gameplay remains key. So for me, everything about Halo 4 is definitely a thumbs up.
Definitely for me too. I love the maturity of Halo and they didn't let us down. So thanks for watching. Let us know what you thought about our review and Halo 4 and leave your comments in the box below.
Also, you can subscribe to our channel, you can follow us on Twitter, or you can like us on Facebook. We'll see you next time on The GamerNerdz.
Bye.
The movies follow the sparring group called, what are they called? It's not, I forget what they're called. What are they called?
So many things are wrong.
Fire team.
Oh, we were just...
Now, the way the weapons sound, like even things like the, what are they called, the green one? The one that you charge.
Oh, I forgot.
Also, you can subscribe to our channel, you can like us on...
Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the show. Let us know what you thought about it. So, in multiplayer, we have a couple new key...